For the fans. For the players. For all the news. Firebirds Weekly. This week's guest is Drew Singleton.
Welcome back to Firebirds Weekly. Hopefully you can hear us now. Technical difficulties. It wouldn't be a nest without the technical difficulties. It is season 2, episode 13. But the first episode of the official start to Firebirds camp, which we were at this morning. And boy, is it a scene to watch these guys, 35 strong, everybody competing, getting in there, working for a spot. Tonight we are live at Hooters on Wolf Road in Colony. And I'm just here for the wings.
Well, I want to thank Drew for coming on.
And dealing with our
BS. So
family, baby.
I want to thank you, and I also want to apologize for running out of time last season. Many guys spoke very highly of you during various interviews over this past season. So very excited to have you on. And I want to kind of kick off the conversation about conditioning. Conditioning was yesterday. Some did better than others. What was key for you, and what did you do to prepare to get yourself ready for conditioning day?
Honestly, man, just being a pro throughout the year. After winning the championship, I pretty much didn't let my foot off the gas pedal there. Just pretty much took that same intensity that we had the whole season and brought it into the off season. And it obviously paid off really well yesterday. I think I did really good during the conditioning test. So yeah, just keeping that same intensity.
What does being a pro all the time mean?
Oh man, I love that question. So being a pro is just all the time means pretty much doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. And that goes for your diet. How you treat people, how you treat yourself, and as well as obviously working out, the typical athlete stuff that you would do, working out, recovery, stuff like that, and just mentally preparing yourself to be great.
So bouncing around here just a little bit, coming off an undefeated season, these are one-year contracts, as we all know. Was it much of a thought to play? How easy was it for you to come back to Albany? I guess is the best way for me to ask.
It was literally a no-brainer.
Yeah.
My agent has close ties with Albany. He's played arena football, so this was the perfect team. And like I said, these guys are family now. Albany is definitely a second home for me, and yeah, it was a no-brainer. Me coming back.
No, for sure. We're excited to have you back for a couple of reasons. One of which we finally get a chance to catch up with you because we were really impressed with what you brought to the team last year, and a good opportunity to finally, get a chance to sit down and talk to you now that you're back in Albany. So good stuff.
Tell me a little bit. Again, we were at practice this morning. And Coach Ware and Coach Cisse and the whole crew, run a really tight ship. It's like 8 to 10. We're going 8 to 8-0-0 to 10-0-0, and it's 100% all go. Just talk about being in that environment and working with 35 guys, 34 other guys, everybody competing.
Man, it's honestly been a blessing, man. Ever since I played my last game, I've been missing it. Then you go out into the real world, and I'm a project manager, so
okay.
I'm on the roofs, looking at my guys, we're working and stuff like that, but I'm just on my phone sometimes looking at highlights, looking at the film. So it was honestly just a crazy experience just to be back. A very blissful experience, I would say, honestly.
What was the toughest part of practice today?
Not hitting anybody, not having on any equipment. Because like I said,
some guys were getting at it pretty good, even with some pads on. But
those are the lucky guys. I'm at Jack, so
right. You're kind of hanging out in some regard. Yeah. Again, we're bouncing around here just a little bit. Year 2 for you. We didn't have the opportunity to attend practice last year, but we did this year. And there's a handful of guys that stood up to us in terms of player leadership. You weren't shy to speak up today. Is that something new, or is that something you've always done, or is it this year you feel like you need to take that responsibility on?
It's funny you said that, because my parents always tell me, since I was growing up, you're just like a natural born leader. Like when you talk, when you have an opinion and you say it, just people just listen to you. So that's honestly nothing new. I knew last year it was my rookie year. There was a ton of great vets in front of me, so I just wanted to learn. Not necessarily not stepping on anyone's toes, but I just wanted to play my role on the team and do it the best way that I could. And now obviously with a year under my belt, championship as well. I know what it takes to win in this game now. And Coach Ware, Coach Cisse, Coach Hobbs, Coach Lou, and Coach Bo, man, and also Coach Gooch. All those guys, they know how to win, and I trust those guys.
Yeah, I again, this is a first opportunity to really spend some time with the coaches today. And I got to tell you, man, from top to bottom, they're great coaches. I mean, like I was telling Adam, and I even told Coach Ware, and I even told Coach Bowick today, he's like, listen, I spent 30 minutes with the O-line today. I learned more today in 30 minutes than I did the 4 years that I played high school offensive line.
I feel you.
And it was really cool to see because, fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
Especially as a project manager, if that baseline ain't any good, the whole job's garbage.
Yes, sir.
And something simple like, using the lines in the dome today for a kick step and 45, and it's like, okay, yep, that makes sense because now there's actual landmarks.
Yes.
When we played, it was like, just toughen up. You know what I mean? What technique?
Oh no, I coach over in Bennington and Mount Anthony, and I texted my coach group. I'm like, there's some stuff here we got to take for our kids. I know we can do it.
Yes,
we definitely got to get it for those kids as well.
That's awesome.
But speaking of kids, let's talk about you. You're a New Jersey guy, so you're somewhat local to us. You're not that far away, few hours.
Yes, sir.
Played your ball at Paramus Catholic. Did I say it right? Paramus?
Yes, sir.
All right, I get it right. There we go. Just talk about your time growing up and how you got into football and who was kind of your people growing up that got you to play football and got you into the game.
Got you. Yeah. So I started playing football at about 5 years old. I come from a football family, to be honest. My grandfather played football in high school. My dad played football at HBCU, and then my uncle played football at Central Connecticut State. So we were always ballers. And then my older brother, DJ Singleton, he was actually the first person in my family to actually get, national notoriety. He was a All-American safety coming out of St. Peter's Prep in Jersey City, New Jersey. So growing up, I honestly just chased my brother, man. Everything that he did, I tried to emulate it. And, my brother and my dad really got me to love football, just seeing the way that they used to talk about it, as a young kid, because me and my brother are 5 years apart.
I was just going to say, how close are you guys in age? Yeah, 5 years. You never got to play together, really.
Yeah, never got to play together. But, man, going on those visits with him as a young kid and, shaking Brett Bielema's hand and all that stuff, man, going to those Power 5 schools. He ended up going to Nebraska. It was honestly a surreal experience, and it was kind of like a cheat sheet because I know exactly what to do. And I know exactly how to get there. So.
Well, how important is that? Because we've talked to, Adam, 50 different guys now, and
probably about that, yeah.
And I would say at least 25 of the 50 really didn't know what to do, and not to say they made any wrong decisions, but they didn't have any guidance, and being able to have a little bit of a roadmap must have been like a huge relief for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Just my dad, man. I give credit to my mom and my dad. My dad just took the time out to just to get us better and get us great at the game that we loved. We definitely had to show it to him that we loved it. He wasn't going to drag me out of the house. Because I remember sometimes when I was young and he would try to get me out of the house and I wouldn't go. I wanted to stay at home, and then my brother would go. But as I got older and I realized, well, I got to put in the work. It's not going to happen just because my brother's good at football.
Right.
I'm not just going to grow into a good football player or a great football player. So just knowing I had to put in the work at a young age.
And it sounds like from some of the stuff doing the research and that it's like you going to the Catholic school obviously is a little different. Kind of different levels. Right away you're part of like the All-American team as a freshman.
Yeah.
And then. As you go through, you get all these accolades. You're the number one prospect in New Jersey. Like, what was the pressure of that like? Having, you're 14, 15, 16, whatever years old, and it's like, you're the guy. Like, you're the guy that everybody's paying attention to.
Yeah. Honestly, man, I didn't feel any pressure, to be honest. It was just me playing ball. I remember talking to one of my good friends, Jawan Bushell Beatty. He was there when I was a freshman. He actually graduated with Jabril Peppers, ended up going to Michigan as well. And I was talking to him in the back hallway. It was my freshman year. I was playing varsity, and I was like, man, I'll just be happy if I get like a Boston College offer, maybe get a North Carolina offer. I'll be good with those two. And like he looked at me and was like, "Are you crazy? Like the stuff that you're doing right now, you're gonna get so many offers." And I don't know, just growing up, I always was taught to fly level-headed, fly even, not too high, not too low. So at the time, I was just trying to get whatever I could, and then what I could get was everything I wanted.
So in terms of not being too high, being too low, going into, like, say, a practice setting, I'm sure there's maybe not many, but I'm sure there's days where it's like, I really don't want to do this today. How important is being able to stay even on the bad days?
Honestly, to be honest, I feel like playing arena, and as you know, everyone has dreams and aspirations to make it to the next level, and I still do too. And in terms of the NFL, right? So I would honestly say, man, just me being able to play ball for a season and then go back into the real world. Honestly, not saying that I didn't like my job or anything like that. I actually love being a project manager, but it kind of keeps you clear-headed of what you actually really passionately want to do. And it actually drove me to just keep chasing, man, keep chasing.
You go through school, have all these accolades, get to your senior year, like I said, number 1 prospect in the state, number 80 nationally. So you're in there with all these, guys that you're hearing about on ESPN and all that. What was the process like in terms of going to the next level? And like you said, when you're 14, you're like, North Carolina would be amazing. Boston. By the time you're a senior, you're like, I can go anywhere I want. What was the recruiting process like, and what made your decision to go to Michigan?
The recruiting process was honestly pretty sweet. I would honestly, just to answer your question direct, as you know, a handful of us from my school ended up going to Michigan. So it was like a Michigan pipeline, and it was pretty much like, man, I'm familiar with these guys. My head coach was my linebacker coach at Michigan. So it just made sense, and he was also the special teams coordinator. So the recruiting process was still fun. I was leaning towards Clemson at a point in time, and then last minute I ended up going to Michigan. But it was a blast, man, and also just competing, honestly, like at the Nike opening and competing with those guys that are listed up with you and proving to yourself that, okay, this isn't fluff. This isn't because I'm at a big school or the people that went to my school. It's because I can actually perform.
Right.
And so, going into the Big Ten and making that choice, what was that first year like? Trying to make a name for yourself, because maybe the big fish in small pond. Not really. I mean, obviously, New Jersey is a big state and a big football state, but almost like this big fish in a small pond thing. Now, you got to reestablish yourself. Absolutely. when you go to the next level. Just talk about your first couple of years. Just kind of trying to reestablish yourself as a football player, a guy that can get it done on the field.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I actually tore my ACL my senior year of high school. So my first year at Michigan, I actually redshirted. Okay. So doing that, man, honestly,
I don't mean to stop. Ahead. So when that happened, obviously your health is concern number 1. But how concerned or nervous were you about your opportunity going away due to that injury? Like, how did the school work with you on that?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. It was actually a blessing and a curse. Obviously, missing my senior year, and then my team goes on to win the state championship for me.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. But I was there with them every step of the way. What was your question again?
Well, I got you.
Sorry, so, I got distracted reading comments in the stream.
Oh, I thought you got distracted because we're at Hooters.
No.
No, but you have an injury like that.
Yes.
And it's like, everything to this point has been on the good side, right? And getting the offers and doing these recruiting and doing this whole thing. And then now football's gone for a year or however long it took, it's 8 months or 10 months or whatever it is. How did you work with the school to kind of make sure that you were good in terms of, and then in terms of that, but also mentally to say, let me rehab this,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
can still make an impact here.
Oh,
Let me just fix this first.
Absolutely. So there's a couple key points I'm gonna make. So tearing, like I said, tearing the ACL your senior year is always crazy. But honestly, without the football, it gave me a bigger opportunity to show people who I was as a person.
Yep.
Not just a football player.
That gets forgotten, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, I really do. I think so too as well. I'm big on just being a great person, man. That's how my parents raised me. That's all I know. Putting a smile on people's faces. So when I did tear my ACL,
Yeah, you have to hold that thing up. That thing is
And for
it's
some
all
reason,
good. It's,
yeah,
it's a little tired.
yeah,
just like everybody at this table.
it's been a long day.
Yeah.
That's what are we 12 and a half hours in? Probably more like 13, 14 for you.
Yeah,
Get
for
ready,
sure.
pre-practice.
I love every bit of it.
Yeah, 100%. But you gotta love it because if you don't, it's a long ass day.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just show people who I was as a person. I busted my butt. I had a friend of mine drive me to rehab after school. I would go to rehab and lift because it was at one of my strength coaches' facility, and then I would have her drive me back to school so I can be suited up in my helmet for practice, and just pretty much be a player coach. That's all I was, and just the battery. So I was a big, leader, and I guess some people said that I was like the glue of the team or the engine of the team. So I just continued to be the engine and the glue of the team, just not on the field.
Right.
So I'm in the locker room cracking jokes,
Firing guys up.
yeah, firing dudes up, hiking on them, encouraging them, telling them, how good they're playing, telling them what I would do if I was in this position, and just giving away all my knowledge. Why not? I've learned from so many people, even just in high school, that, I had more than enough knowledge to give to everyone. And I think that was one of the really, really big reasons why that we won the state championship that year.
That's wonderful.
And then, talk about, going into your sophomore season, the injuries behind you. Talk about establishing yourself again back on the field.
Oh, man.
This is why you recruited me.
Yeah.
Let me prove it to you now in the maize and blue.
Man, it was amazing. I think that training camp was one of the best training camps that I've had, to be honest, in my whole entire college career. Not saying that the ones at Rutgers weren't any good, because my last one at Rutgers was really good, but just being able to get back into the game, that intensity, that tenacity, I don't think anybody got to the ball before me in any practice in terms of pursuit at all. I was just a maniac at that point.
Do you think it had a lot to do with the fact you had it taken away for you for a good calendar year?
Absolutely. And like I was telling you before, like just playing this game for a season and then not having the ball, or not having a helmet on, and just working, like it. You can't take anything for granted, man. I'll just put it like that. Definitely can't take anything for granted. Talk to God, pray every day, and thank him for the things that you're able to do and that you actually love to do. There's a lot of people out here that don't do things that they love to do.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So then, so you go through and you make the decision to kind of come back home. Tell me about that process and how that worked. And then, the thought of, being able to play a lot closer to where you're from.
Oh man, it was honestly amazing. That was a smooth process as well, coming home. Because that time we didn't have that one transfer rule, so we were still in the old dinosaur rule ages or whatever you can say. So, I would have had to potentially sit out a year if I didn't go back home. Yeah. So, but it was a great choice. Actually, my best friend Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah.
We were.
Let's just name drop the Kansas City Chiefs guys. All right.
Yeah, we were.
Boo, Chiefs.
Yeah. So before I came, it was crazy because we were actually chatting with each other through Twitter. And I was like, bro, like, you know what? I really respect the way that you play, and I knew we were in the same class. And I'm like,
I love
bro,
how he runs, man. He's angry. To date myself a little bit, unfortunately, it passed recently is the muscle hamster. He used to play for Tampa Bay. You might not know.
All-Star?
No. Something Martin. Not Curtis Martin.
Not Curtis. I'm thinking.
Was he
Okay.
the fullback?
No, you're thinking of All-Star. We'll look him up later. but yeah, I respect this game big time.
Absolutely, yeah, man. So he was actually one of the guys.
Russell Martin, I think it is.
Yeah, okay.
Russell Martin, okay. Yeah, so he was actually one of the guys, also a Jersey native, that really got me to come back home. And then on my official, just kicking it with them and then kicking it with the team. And these are all guys that are from Jersey, so I just felt at home, and it was a no-brainer, and I loved playing for my state.
And you come right out, that first year as I guess as a junior, redshirt junior, maybe at that point. Played every game. You're playing Penn State, Michigan State. You're proving yourself again against Power 4 competition.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like to kind of go through that season, and then the next season, COVID happens.
Yeah,
we talk about this with a lot of guys, because a lot of guys are right in that 23 to 28 age range, right?
Yep.
And COVID screwed up everything.
COVID affected me 2 years after the fact. So I was actually supposed to go back to Rutgers and play for my 6th year.
Right.
And we ended up, doing the whole NCAA thing and the appeals and stuff like that. It got a lot of big buzz. And we were thinking that was going to be enough for them to, just grant me my last year, which was my COVID year. And it ended up not happening. So that affected a lot, to be honest, my road to the pros.
So let me slow you down. I'm gonna answer a question, or actually I'm gonna pose you a question that was asked from Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Do you like any other sports?
Oh yeah, basketball, boxing.
You're an MMA guy at all? If you like boxing, maybe UFC.
UFC a little bit. Yeah, it's a bit wild for me. But
likewise. To me, it doesn't feel right. Yeah. I have a hard time consuming it. God bless whoever likes it. I don't have anything against it. Yeah. It's not really in my lane.
Yeah. Because I come from not from like a martial arts background, but my dad, he's a 5th degree black belt.
By the way, he said he's very proud of you on the stream, as well as your sister.
Okay, they're on there.
Yep.
I got you.
Yep.
What's up?
No, we always like to see that. That's popped up a handful of times over the last year or so, and beautiful thing when you have outpouring family support, and which you illustrated earlier in terms of you looking up to your dad to kind of and your brother to kind of get you going.
Absolutely, yeah, man. Family's everything. I got them all tatted on my body. They know how much they mean to me, and and a lot of times when you're kind of your battery's a little low, you got to think about your why. Coach Cisse talks about us about our whys all the time, and the why is what's going to keep you going when you don't think you have anything left. You think about your why and your motivation, and that'll see you through.
I think that's really important because, listen, I mean, I go through it too. Why am I doing this today? Like, why am I putting myself through this?
Yep.
And why does it matter? That's the big thing. It's like you got to continuously be grounded. Like, otherwise, like if you don't have some sort of guide and light in your life, you're just wandering around. And you're not achieving anything, and being able to look back and say, yeah, I'm doing this because of my kids or my wife or whatever. I think that's really, really important.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I like to say my milk. So one of my favorite movies is Cinderella Man. And at the end of the movie, after he chose to fight again for the last time, they asked him why, and he said, for milk. And the milk signified his family. At those times it was really rough. So all they could afford was, milk.
Oh wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. Excuse me. I'm fighting a cold, I think. I've been fighting it for a little while.
All good.
So after your senior year, you play in bowl game against Wake Forest. It's talk about the draft and trying to get ready for that, going through pro day. What was those few months like after finishing your college career?
It was the draft, honestly, leading up. I had a couple issues because we actually got called into the bowl game late. Mm-hmm. So Wake Forest was actually supposed to play somebody else. That team got COVID, so they called us a week before the bowl game. Mm-hmm. So most guys are already gone. I decided to come back and play. End up spraining my ankle. So in the beginning of training, I had to take it slow. I was kind of fighting through an injury, and then after about 2 weeks, I was able to get going for real. So.
Did you a pro day and all that kind of stuff?
Absolutely, yeah. Pro day was awesome. I think I did the best that I could with the time that I had. I put up some really good numbers. But yeah, pro day was amazing.
And then, tell me, coming through, going from the outdoor game and getting into the arena game, what's been the biggest challenge for you transitioning from the outdoor to the indoor game?
Honestly, the only challenge was pretty much just getting the rules down, I guess. There's a couple wrinkles in there that obviously you don't have because of the space of outside.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's football. I'm a baller, man. You can line it up in the parking lot and we can get it on.
Now, listen, that's well, I guess I'll take it to the next step. How did Albany become a reality for you? Like how did let me back up a spot. So you did your pro day. Of course, there was aspirations to be drafted. Did you get any opportunities for like a free agent tryout or anything like that?
Yeah, so I thought I was going to be going into the Chiefs training camp with Pacheco, but that ended up falling through. I got drafted to the XFL for that season. I came back. Then I went to Mexico in the LFA for a season, and then when I came back, I decided, I'm gonna stay here and play at the highest level of football that I can here, and that ended up being the AF1, and I looked for the best team, and Albany Firebirds was it.
So when you're saying looking for the best team, what said to you Albany was the best team?
Just honestly, the pedigree, and like I said, my agent Darren Wilson played for them, and also Sean Brown works beside my agent. So
nice.
Everything that they told me, and then I found out, Coach Ware is an NFL coach. Coach with the Saints back when Ricky Williams was there.
Yeah.
So
he told a story about him at were you in that?
Yeah, I was in that group. Yeah, when I was trying to catch my breath.
Yeah.
So just being around guys that know how to win and that hate to lose. They love to win and hate to lose here.
And boy, do you have some of those, Ware and Cisse, especially. Not all the rest of them do too, but those two especially. I don't want to be around Cisse when he's fired up. I'll tell you. He is something else.
Absolutely. And if you don't have that same type of attitude, being around him, it'll quickly change for sure. So it's crazy.
What's been your favorite part of Albany the last, being here the last couple of years? What's been your favorite part of playing here? Obviously, the wins, obviously winning a championship, that kind of stuff. But what's been your favorite part of this whole process?
The people. Absolutely, definitely, hands down, 100% the fans. That means a lot to me as a person, as a player. It kind of feels like you guys are the ninth man out there, honestly, and all the love, all the gratitude. I mean, the flock the players' bags, all that stuff. That stuff means a lot. So I just think that you guys opening up your doors and welcoming me in as family and just taking care of me. I think that's the best part about it, to be honest.
How was your? How did you enjoy your welcome to Albany bag?
Man, I enjoy. I ran through it, so it's.
Hey, Father Flocker, Drew needs some more supplies. He run through it already.
I'm definitely all out. Smashed the fruit snacks first day. It was a bad day to be a fruit snack that day, so it is what it is.
What is the go-to fruit snack?
I would say either Mott's or Gushers. Gushers are crazy. Like
that's an OG.
Yeah, I remember when they came out. I was in elementary school. That was like a big deal.
That's you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if they're still rocking right now, they're amazing.
I want to ask too, because this year, with Rivers Casino as a big sponsor and as a big part of the Firebirds, staying over there. What has that been like, being able to kind of be over there and staying in their hotel and everything? What's that kind of been like?
Oh, it's been awesome, man. And shouts out to Rivers Casino. They've been super accommodating, man. It's they treat you like royalty over there. So it's been amazing. It's a beautiful hotel. You guys should all go out and check it out. Check out the casino. It's huge. But yeah, man, it's been an honor, to be honest. It's actually a reflection of who we are. We stay in pristine places and the nice places, and we do the best stuff.
Yeah, the number one place for the number one guys.
Exactly.
I have a question that I remember when, again, I didn't play arena, but I remember when I used to play, going on the road and really putting in perspective what your fan base really is. How is it playing on the road when there isn't a lot of fan support there? Do you kind of relish it in a way where you just kind of want to put them out of their misery, whoever is there?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I love the booze just as much as I love the the yays. That's just me.
In
Like,
his villain arc.
yeah, man, it's just being, coming from the Big Ten, like you going to Penn State, it's a whiteout game. It's like
106,000 people hate your guts.
Yeah, I'm using all the energy. We're not just using, I'm using everything I can.
All energy can be good energy as long as you put it in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of energy, he's going to need some for tomorrow. Practice is bright and early, 8 a.m. He's going to need it. Drew, we appreciate you coming on, and definitely want to talk to you as the season goes on. Pre-game, post-game, weekly show. We definitely want to have you on again. We really appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys for having me.
Anytime. Thank you. Thank you for your patience tonight. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you a week from tonight.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Take it easy.